Hi, I'm George St. Pierre, TKO welterweight champion, also UFC veteran. Today I'll show you a couple techniques that I enjoy to do when I'm fighting, and it's worked very well for me. Today I'll show you a couple striking combos and striking counters that I love to do when I'm fighting, and that it's worked very well for me. So I will start to show you jab counters. The power of a jab comes by your back leg. So when you throw a jab, it's very important to be loose on your foot. So first of all, okay, I keep my hands up in all time. What I'm gonna do when David's gonna throw me a jab, I'm just gonna pat it like this, and then I'm gonna step in and then and jab. So I'll do it regular speed. Very important too, when you land a jab, your elbow have to stay in, like this. If you're doing this, your opponent will see it coming. So when I throw a jab, it's very important. I have to be loose and quick. Now I'll show you another good technique against somebody taller than you, somebody who got the reach advantage. With this technique that I'm gonna show you right now, it's good because you duck under and you close the distance against your opponent. So like that, you have you can use a smaller reach to hit him. So very important, you keep your hands up in all time, very loose on your foot. And when you duck under, when the jab is coming, you duck under, you keep your hands up and you keep your eyes looking at him. So you just duck under like this. You don't turn your body this way, just a little bit, you see? When you duck under, you keep your eyes, you keep looking at him. You just duck under like this, you keep your hands up to the same place. You don't do it like this, very important. You just duck under and come back with a right hand. The right hand, you want your right hand touch your opponent's chin. So I'm like this, when he threw, I just duck under and boom, counter punch with the right hand. The power come off my hips and my foot on the ground. So I'm here. I'm looking for to hit on the chin my opponent, okay? Not on the nose, not on the forehead, the chin. Even the neck, if I can, I'm looking for his neck. When I'm looking for his neck, I'm gonna hit his chin. I'm right here, and don't forget at the end, the little movement of your wrist. I'll show you a third option against a jab. The third one, you have to use your legs. Hands up, very loose, always very loose. It's very important. If you're stiff when you land a shot, you're going nowhere. So very loose, like that you have the speed advantage. All right, when the jab is coming, you land a leg kick, but inside your opponent's legs, right here. You hit with your shin, not with your foot. And your hips and your leg have to make one. You don't kick like this. You kick with all your hips. Your hips have to turn. This hand coming up to protect your chin, and this hand coming down to give you the swing. So it's like a duck under in the same time. So when the jab is coming, you just boom and come back with the right hand. The right hand, we see it before. Don't forget the little twist at the hand. So you're here when the jab is coming, boom, boom. Another of my favorite technique is it's called the Urogiri. It's a basic Kyokushin karate technique. For you, it's spinning back kick. Very important thing, before doing this, you have to set it up with a jab first. Because if you don't set it up with a jab, you turn your back on your opponent so you can get knocked out. Very important, hands up. When you throw a jab first, and then when you go for the spinning back kick, your eyes have to come first. When your eyes come first, your knee have to stay in, not out. the power come off from this area. It's like a horse. When a horse kick, it's like this. It's very powerful. It's from the hamstring. So when I turn here, my eyes come first, and I kick exactly like a horse. I kick with my heel. Boom! And then I turn, hands up. I'll do it faster. Throw a jab, boom. Boom. The mistake everybody is doing, they're doing this. You know, the foot go a little bit too much outside. Look at my knee stay inside, doesn't go outside. That's how you're gonna have more speed. And don't do this before you're doing this technique. Just stay normal, throw a normal jab, boom. Very important when you land your spinning back kick. Don't try to go too far, because if you go too far and you miss, you fall unbalanced. What's hurt your opponent is the snap. So it's like a punch. You punch and you come back. It's the same thing with the kick. When you reach your when you have your maximum reach, you come back. So I'm here. I don't try to push my opponent. You see, I just hit and I come back. That's what hurt. I'm here. I land a jab. Boom! I come back right away. Sometimes when you're going to land a spinning back kick, your opponent lower his hands because he's waiting for it. Especially if you did it during the fight. So what you can do, if he's waiting for that, same thing. You throw a jab, and when you turn, you think you're going for a spinning back kick, but you're going for a spinning back fist. So when you turn, your hand have to be like this, not like that. Like that is in kickboxing, they use it like this. But in MMA, in kickboxing it's illegal to do it like this, but in MMA it is. It's legal, so I want you to do it like this. Because what's happened, sometimes you don't catch your opponent, you don't hit your opponent with the hammer fist. You can hit him with the forearm. And if you're like this, you can cut him more easily because your bone is right there. It's like a razor blade. Boom. And when you turn, very important, when you turn, this hand have to stay up, because when you finish, you're going on the side a little bit and you need a protection against a counter punch. And then after you step back and you can come back to your position. This technique works too when your opponent is coming at you. Sometimes you don't have to chasing him. It's good when your opponent is against a corner. When he's trapped against a corner, you know he's going nowhere, so he can't back up and counter puncher you. So you're like this, you throw a jab, very loose, and then you finish with a hammer fist, a back fist. The other technique I'll show you, it's a counter to the spinning back kick and the spinning back fist. A lot of people, when they see the spinning back kick or spinning back fist coming, they just step out. But the key is not step out, because when you step out, it's hard to come back and counter punch your opponent. You have to, if you know he's going for that, you have to use it to your own advantage to counter punch for him. First of all, always keep your hands up, and when you know the spinning back kick is coming, you don't step out. You just step on the side and you wait for your opponent touch the ground, and you wait for your opponent land his kick, and then boom, you connect with the right hand. And don't forget, like I said at the end, the little snap. That's what it's make a knockout. Boom. Right on the jaw, because you can't hit behind the head. Right on the jaw, right here, on the throat. Boom. Don't forget the little snap at the end. Bang! I'll show you another option to counter your opponent's back kick or back fist. This one is a little bit more advanced because you take more risk in doing this. When you know your opponent is going for a back kick or a back fist, You keep your hands up in all time. This one is the most important one. You have to keep this hands up even when you're gonna kick. So you're here, very loose. When the kick is coming, right away, you kick your opponent butt like this, boom, and you kick with the palm of your foot, and all the power is coming from your hips. Just don't do this. Don't do it like this. Look at my hips. My hips is here, and boom. When he's doing his motion, right away, boom. What's gonna happen is don't do it during sparring because it's a very dangerous technique. Because you can injure your opponent lower back here. You can injure his hips. It doesn't look that bad, but if you have the right timing and if you're doing well, don't do it at sparring, you know. It's a dangerous technique. So I'm right here when he's going for his motion and boom, right away. Keep my hands up because sometimes what can happen is doing, but I can miss. And if he's doing for a spinning back fist, if my hands are low, vas-y, un spinning back fist. Ouais. I can slip, and boom, he can catch me. I can miss it, you know, because I can slip on his hips. But if I'm doing well, keep my hands up, boom. And when I kick, my hips come forward, and I step forward after. All right?